And welcome to tonight's edition of How to Make Food When You're High. Tonight I'm going to be showing you how to make mozzarella sticks, but not, as you know, more a simpler version with if all you have in your fridge is a pizza, some bread, and some cheese at the back. Now notice whilst we may have a pizza, we're choosing to take the alternative option and make a small meal now and then the bigger main one later. So what you would do is take a piece of bread, simply put it on a plate and use a rolling pin to roll it so it's completely flat, unlike the airy bread which was there before. You then simply take your squashed bread, your cheese, and a frying pan and a bit of oil. Now, you will need a cheese grater for this. One here, preset. Bit of butter, gives it the extra crisp when the cheese itself is being melted. Now, take a knife. Make sure you don't have to be sparing with the butter. You're going to have to remember this is going to be a high carb meal, whatever you're going to fucking fry it with. So simply place those in there. Break this here. Now, place your knife there. Take your cheese and grating it onto there, using a downwards motion to grate the cheese because it's only one-sided. And just keep going. Give it a little tap. Spread out the cheese like so. Now don't worry if it's going to come over, it's all going to melt anyway. And then roll it up really quite tightly. You want to be quite firm with the bread because remember, you're trying to make a mozzarella stick and they are, round. So then simply add the cheese, spread it around. Now if you're feeling in a different mood, you could, if you wanted, add some spices. Maybe a bit of chili sauce on the inside. They're really, spice it up a bit. So once you've got them rolled, take some sunflower oil, or any cooking oil you have, preferably not olive oil because that's mainly for drizzling onto salads and what. Now add some oil. Now remember it's going to be quite hot because you are frying. Now making sure that this is not too much of a high temperature. Turn down a tiny bit. You're going to need a plastic spatula to cook, or rather turn over without scratching your non-stick frying pan. Now, remember, oil and water don't mix. You want to make sure that your spatula is dry beforehand. Now, taking a look at the oil, we can see that it's become much more loose, or rather, the bonds that keep it connected and more thicker have loosened, allowing us to easily put the oil around the pan. Now at this point you can see I've made almost like a noughts and crosses diagram on the frying pan. Now this gives it a nice even coating when you're frying it. Now, just seeing if this is quite hot enough. Yes, just about hot enough. Now we're going to make sure that these are wrapped down tightly. You're going to use your frying pan to do that. Just pour the oil down, pour it back up again. You can hear that sizzling sound now. This is it. This is it. Just frying now. Now all you want to do is get it and flip it. Now I know this isn't quite frying, so you might want to add a bit more oil. Like just a bit. Oh shit, too much. Then try and wrap it back up. Push it into the oil, drizzle this shit about, maybe give it a little flip, like so. Then flip it once more. So now you can hear that real sizzling sound that you want to be hearing if you're frying. This is a good sound. You're going to get some reasonably crispy toast on the outside, then nice melted cheese centre. See there, you can see it's really starting to melt, but unfortunately it's unravelling. Make sure that you've got enough oil in the pan. You don't use too much because, well, it's fucking fattening, isn't it? And you then gotta flip them. Maybe drizzle a bit more oil onto it itself. I'm going to pour into this first. There we go, just so I don't use too much. one more for good measure. Onto there like so. And a little wipe. And then flip once more. Get a little squash. And once more. Now we're almost done. You want to take a small plate, because obviously it is a small dish, like so. It also saves space on the table if you are going to be eating and rolling. So there, now that we have this on here, if you're feeling a bit, in the mood for some sauces, you can either use some mayonnaise, which I think tends to go quite nicely. No mayonnaise? Or rather, bit of sweet chili sauce, or if you're feeling a little bit tempted by it, perhaps some sweet linguine sauce. Sweet and sour linguine sauce. So I think what I'm going to go for is a bit of this. Just going to drizzle this over. Now I've got to be careful, it comes out quite quickly on this. There we go. And that is how you make it perfect mozzarella stick when you're fucking stoned out of your fucking head.